Well, hello everyone, and welcome back. Today we are going to continue with our quest of merge shops. So if you're new around here, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, and of course leaving the video with a like. So this week we are beginning at Join Extinction. You want to head down to the boss room, and then you can click on one of the challenge versions. That will take you to where the NPC is in order to access this merge shop. As you can see, it's just loads of free player gear. It's not unlimited bank storage, which is slightly irritating, but hey ho, that's the way it goes sometimes. Next up is join Fableforest. So if you want some kind of fairy themed gear, but a bit grove-like, that's how I describe it, then this might be the place for you. We've also got some kind of mad devil horns going on there, and some quite nice capes as well to go with it. But as you can see, yet again, we've got some member items thrown in the mix, so it may be worth checking out if you do feel like it. And then you've also got a gold shop right here next to it as well, again full of mini gear, and as you saw there, a nice animated spider helm, although I haven't seen one of those for many years. Good to know that it exists with Mogloween just around the corner. So we're at the sandsea now, as you can see, but importantly this video we are going to touch on some more damage boosting items further towards the end that I'm sure many of you are aware of, but it's worth just putting in there, and also head into the mirror realm, which has some of my most favourite gear in it. Next up is Join Oddities. This one is a member only map, but we do have some quite cool gear in here if you do want to come along and have a little gander at what is available. Some nice formal stuff as well as some other bits thrown in. I do quite like top hats, and I know many of you do as well, so if you want a top hat, this could be the place to come along. But as you can see, lots of AC tags. I'm not sure if that's one of those weird maps that goes seasonal and becomes unmember at some point in the year, but I might be imagining that. Next up, as we said, we have the Mirror Realm Merge, which is incredibly exciting. There are many maps that you're able to access this through, but in this case we're at Join Darkdungeon, and as you can see there's the mighty Fiend blade. We had a Phoenix blade at the top as well. You've got the Shadow Reaper of Doom, which is about the only AC tag thing in here other than the Undead Paladin sets. Again, you've got some gear that might be worth thinking about for Mogloween, and my most favourite right there at the bottom, Undead Paladin. That was a boss drop originally, at least that's what the rare version was, but as you can see nowadays you're able to merge it along with this wide variety of helms, and yet again right at the bottom the Paladin's Curse. Really nice. That actually forgot that one even existed. And then you've got some cool capes and the single pet in there as well, which annoyingly I flicked really quickly past, but that gives you some incentive to go along and have a look at what it looked like. As you can see there's also this other shop here as well, just in case you wanted to have a gander. Next up, let us join Fever Few. Not too many items in here, but you've got some damage boosting ones to the undead, so it may be worth just having a little look in case you require any of those if you haven't quite got the blinding light of destiny yet and you are lower leveled. But now it's time to move on to yet another map, and it is Join A Turk. Obviously you can access this through the Citadel, and many of you Nulgath farmers out there will be more than aware of the Fiendish Lawmaster merge, but it's just in case you didn't know it got added. It's right to the far right hand side of the Swindle and Bilk rip-off Emporium, and you know you got to go past the twins etc, so it's along that route. A lot of the items in here don't have too horrific requirements considering they are all nation gear. However, there again I do sometimes say that about stupidly hard farms in the game, so hey, what do I know. Anyway, let us move on yet again to more nation gear. Maps that have been released fairly recently, believe it or not. So this time it is Join Fiend Past, and as you can see you have got a very nice spear. I am a huge fan of spears of the nation because they're just really nice. They always have sick animations on them, so worth going along. And you've got a couple pets in there, including a floating sword, which once upon a time was a very big deal. Next up, Join Fiend Shard, and these are all kind of crystally themed items around the void. Not too sure if I were going along getting any of these, but just in case you did fancy them, you do have a really nice cape in there. That is probably the main attraction to that merge shop. Next up, Join Draconan. Really cool katana, and I do actually like a lot of the gear in this shop. If you're looking for some different katanas and maybe a flame dragon set, then who knows, this could be the place for you to go and have a browse at some of those farming requirements. Next up, Join Fire Invasion. Really nice animated weapons in this one, and again the requirements do require a little bit of gold, but nowadays that's not too bad to grab, so you should be fine getting these if you did fancy it. Right folks, just a couple more merge shops to go once we've finished looking at the pets in this one, and the first of those we're going to be kicking it off with is Join Fire War. The helmet in this shop actually reminds me of the first one J6 drew for the transdimensional head casing. They're literally very similar. Never realised that until I came along today. And lastly but not least, Join a Fire Avatar, where of course you can get your 75% damage boosting elemental weapon, and you also have a cape in there which is one of those all booster ones like AFDL, so you got your 25% boost with your 35% to all enemies. Obviously, this is for Avatar Tindarius, so the Ultra Battle, that will require some farming if you do want to go along and do it, but it's mainly just daily quests, so you should be okay with that in the end. And it's worth doing because Tindarius, as you know nowadays, most people generally know what they're doing with the challenge fights, so you should find a group fairly quickly that you can get through, presuming you have the right class comp. Obviously, I have a video on the latest way to defeat him if you haven't seen it, so have a little look at that in case you're stuck. Anyway guys, thank you all very much for watching. Please do leave this video with a like and of course subscribe. I'll be back for more merge shops very soon, so until then, have a lovely day.